Vanakkam, Namaste, and blessings to everyone. Saturn's in Capricorn, Mercury is in Capricorn, Venus is in Capricorn, the Sun is in Capricorn, Pluto is in Capricorn. Welcome to Capricorn season. This is the time where all of us, in our own ways, are going to be thinking about what is the legacy we leave behind on the planet. What is that big picture that each of us are individually walking towards? How do we as individuals hold ourselves accountable for the power and authority we wield, and for some of us, the same power and authority we run away from? How do we hold this power within ourselves and use it to the betterment of the quality of life of successive generations on this planet? These are huge questions. And I am not asking you to find an answer to all of this now. Even if you said you had an answer to all of this, I'd go, really? Because we as a whole are going to be working through discovering these answers together as we walk the individual roads to the mountaintop in our own lives for the next 3 years as Saturn transits through Capricorn. Now, Capricornian energy is about growth and success and prestige and being seen in the public eye and all of that stuff. Yes. But it's also about a lot of other stuff as well. It's about being able to understand the strength in your bones, that which is passed down through the ancestral line. It is very reminiscent of the detached power of the Capricornian crone in particular. Bone medicine, the energy that comes through the elder who has already witnessed the passage of time and the seasons and who can, in her own right, say, I am the authority and I will build a world that is fit for my grandchildren. That's also Capricorn. Capricorn's energy can also be the fat cat corporate capitalist who basically says, I want all of the power and all of the authority that I can hold in my hand without sharing it with anybody else or keeping people subservient to me. That's also Capricorn. There's so many different faces of this one sign that it's easy to look at one stereotypical depiction of it and then get caught up in that definition. But at its baseline, at its most fundamental level, Capricorn rules the root chakra, and it is about the structures that allow us to stand upright in this world. So that could be a value system. That could be a very skeletal system. That could be the authority you invest in elders or those whom you elect to represent you. It is all about how power is held in the structure that is created. Capricorn is intimately linked to, mastering this material realm, what we earn, what we build, what we generate, what we create, and what we leave behind through that process of creation. Now, when I'm working with clients, I basically ask people to imagine if you're buried once you pass from this plane in the Christian tradition, there's going to be your tombstone. And this is the way I've been guided to understand it. Here lies so and so. This is what they did. So that Capricorn question is, what are you going to do? What is going to be on your tombstone? What will you be remembered for? Now, different people would have different definitions of this. For some people, their children is their greatest legacy. For others, it is their professional work. For others, it is their significant other. For others, it's some other thing. It's okay. Not everyone has to have that same definition of what is the big picture. That's why we're all different. But no matter what you do, in this next 3 years, as Saturn moves through Capricorn, you need to do so incrementally. There are no shortcuts to success. If you think about it in terms of human biology, whilst growth is fantastic, we don't want uncontrollable growth. We then call that a cancer. And we then need to deal with it and address it when it arises. We don't want a bone that is growing too long in proportion to the rest of the other bones in the body. That will not benefit. So even within that Capricornian need to succeed and achieve and create a structure, there are certain necessary limits. And that is where Saturn reminds all of us that no matter how big our goals may be, we need to hold it within a structure that sits in equilibrium with all other things. That is one of the key lessons that Capricorn is learning. Now, with Mercury that has just entered Capricorn, about 17 maybe 18 hours ago by now, what's going to happen is that we are going to be thinking more strategically about how to achieve these goals. And this is no longer a time where we look to others to build that sense of sovereignty within. In fact, it should have never been the case, but hey, Piscean aerodynamics. We are being asked to realize that at the root of us is this deep, powerful ability to manifest, generate, and create a sense of authority. Whether it's one that you wield over others judiciously, or whether it's one you use to focus on your own inner dynamics, or whether it's an authority you need to hold in a familial space or in the workplace, is up to you and depends on your evolutionary process with your chart. Either way, this is where we accumulate our power within limits and learn how to use it well. In the upcoming Capricorn new moon, where the sun and moon will be very, very close to Venus, this is the time for us to set the intention for the long term picture or long term goal that we want to build. The trick is not to get greedy. The trick is to actually know that what we own, the mantle of authority or leadership that we carry, is not something we carry for our own gratification. It never is with Capricorn when you do it right. It is about becoming the custodian of a certain legacy that you then bequeath to others. So that is one of the key lessons of Capricorn. It's not just about getting power for power's own sake. It is about using this power in a way that benefits others whilst retaining your ability to hold your own and carry your own weight. The parable of the feet of clay comes to mind. If you are to be the mountain goat and scale to the top of the summit, you need to be grounded and rooted in all that you do. Power cannot go to your head. And that's going to be a challenge, especially if you already have very strong Capricornian transits, or rather natal positions that predispose you to these more tyrannical tendencies. Just something to bear in mind. So if you see power as a responsibility and a duty that you take on as a custodian, you're all right. If you see it as a means and as a right to wield over other people, good luck. That is probably going to bite you in the ass from a couple of years from now. So whatever your vision is, remember that incremental, step-by-step growth is the way to go. Set your intentions, get your paperwork started, whether it's a business, whether it's a marriage, whether it's some other endeavor that you want to commit and invest your long-term energy into. And if this is another person, they need to give you consent as well. Whatever it is, get the paperwork started around the time of the upcoming Capricorn New Moon on January 16th. Now, we are also going to be seeing a very powerful, what's it called? Super blue blood lunar eclipse moon at the very end of the month. And we will talk more about that as we get closer to that time. So right now, take the step-by-step, incremental steps to what you want to achieve. Don't try to rush too fast. Don't go too slow. Just follow the natural, organic rhythm of growth. A key lesson of Capricorn is to remember that you need, at the end of the day, once you've created what it is you want to create, to no longer attach and identify yourself with your creation, but to let that bequeathment, if that's a word, or what it is that you leave behind, to be a gift to the collective. Then you move on and go on your own journey and do something else, something different after that. A typical Capricorn complaint happens when you try to hold on too strongly to what you have created once the job is done. But having said that, enjoy this energy, use it to really get clear and get focused about what it is that you want to do. Don't waste your energy on trying to convince other people who don't believe in what you're doing, because really this is about you and about what it is that you are going to do for the collective in whatever way you see fit. I have been having a discussion with a few spiritualists today, and there has been this inner conflict in a lot of them as to how to deal with the question of the ego. Is it egotistic to want to achieve? Is it egotistic to want to create? Is it egotistic to want to be seen in the public eye? And the answer to that is yes, it is, and that's fine. Irrespective of how multidimensional you are, you still interact at a 3D level of reality. Those who do not want change to happen will resist those who try to make change happen. And if you don't have an ego, if you have no self-defense instinct, if you have no impetus to protect that which you have struggled to create, you're not going to get anything done in this 3D realm. Strive to have a healthy relationship with ego rather than trying to annihilate it. That is also something that needs to be said at this time. So, think in the long term, think in terms of strategy, focus on what you need to do, and be very, very clear in what the long term consequences and impacts of any action you take will be. As for myself, I had that accident during the winter solstice. I see that Saturn very, very cleverly made sure that my energy levels were halved at this time. So Saturn's basically telling me, slow down. I know you can do it, but you need to learn to really be selective in where you put your energy. So I'm in my recovery process and I am taking things to the extent that I can take it. Now, for those of you in Arizona, remember that the talk is tomorrow and hope to see you there. So take care and God is bless. Ciao, ciao for now.